my name is Tay, and today my bookshelves look very empty because for once I am doing something that will involve physical books. And that is obviously my June TBR. This is why I'm wearing my very good, gay, feminist shirt. The only downside is I wish it said YB ableist, but you know what? I got it from a clothes swap. I didn't have to pay for it, so we don't even care. So anyway, I have a lot of books to talk about because I'm doing 3 readathons. And yes, I am starting work this month, so I don't know how the fuck I think I'm gonna get all these done. But you know what? It's fine. So the 3 readathons that I'm doing are, I'm doing the biblio games throughout the whole month. I'm on Team Sidekick. So there's that. I don't remember who's in charge of biblio games. It might be Little Wolf Reads. I will also link that down. And I'm also doing the Read Your Gaze readathon, which I know is headed by Boston Reads Books, whose channel I will link down below. And then I'm doing the witchathon, which is led by Rhiannon over at Crescent Moon Reads, so I'll also link their stuff down below. Lots of stuff. So yeah, I'm just gonna get into it because we have so much to talk about. The first couple of books I'm talking about are not actually technically part of a readathon besides just getting pages in for biblio games. This is for a video that a lot of you might have seen I've been planning on making for the beginning of June for one of my favorite series that literally fucking no one knows, and that is the Ice Massacre trilogy by Tiana Warner. The 2 that I'm going to be reading not for any readathons are Ice Massacre and then Ice Crypt. The 3rd book I will talk about in a second because I'm reading it for a readathon. But yes, oh my god, I'm so excited to talk to you about these books. Oh my god, I've been so scared to talk about them because I'm worried like if I talk about them without having it be in a video, I'm just gonna be like, what's that? Moving on. And the reason why I think a lot of people don't know about these, first of all, they're kind of backlisted. I think they were written a few years ago at least. And the other is that this author is an indie author, but it is so good. So short summary. This trilogy is about, there's this island called Ariana Kwai that's off the Pacific, I think. The people who live on this island have been in a long-standing war against mermaids. These aren't like your Little mermaids, that they're intelligent, they're can fuck you up, they're a little bit more of sirens, and for a long time they've been fighting these mermaids only by sending out men, people assigned male at birth. And that's pretty stupid because the sirens' abilities only work on people, on AMAP people. So finally, they decide, maybe we should send girls. Maybe that'd be smart. So they put together this group of girl warriors to go out and fight, and our main character Mila is on this squad. She's like ready to go fight because her brother went out one year and never came back. But her loyalties are kind of tested on this journey, going on this boat with a bunch of other girls to go fight mermaids because her childhood friend was a mermaid. Oh my god, I love the series so much. Oh my god. It's so good. Please check it out. The people on Ariana Kwai are all people of color. So our main character Mila is a person of color. It also has female rep. It also has childhood friends to enemies to lovers. Like, y'all have been looking for this series. I know y'all have. And it's so good. It's got an almost entirely female cast, and most of the boys you see are either like suck it, like they're very clearly seen as bad, or they're like good soft boys. And so yeah, these 2 I'm going to be trying to read in the first couple of days of June. Wish me luck. Up next, from the 3rd to the 10th, I will be doing the Read Your Gaze readathon, and this has 6 challenges, each to do with colors of the rainbow: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. I can do that. The first challenge is red, and that is read a book with a lesbian character. So I'm doing The Miseducation of Cameron Post by Emily M. Danforth. If you don't know what this is about, this is basically just about a girl named Cameron Post. She's forced to move in with her conservative aunt after her parents die. When this aunt realizes that Cameron has feelings for other girls, she sends her off to a conversion camp, and it's basically just her story with that. I am pretty damn positive that Cameron is lesbian. If she's not, someone can tell me, but from what I've heard, lesbian. And if not, I'm sure that there are lesbian characters in here. But yeah, I've been really wanting to read this. My friend got this for me for my birthday a year ago or something, and I've been really eager to read it. I've just been a little bit nervous because I just really want to like it, and I wasn't in the greatest place to read it beforehand. The second challenge is orange, which is read a gay book, and so I'm doing The Inexplicable Logic of My Life by Benjamin Hilary Sands. This is supposed to be about a Mexican-American boy who has 2 dads, and it's about them exploring maybe sexuality and friendship and stuff like that. I'm really, really excited to read this. Aristotle and Dante, also by Benjamin Hilary Sands, is one of my favorite books of all time. So I've been really eager to read this. I mostly haven't read it because I know that I'm probably gonna cry. Oh, I'm so excited for this next one. The next challenge is yellow, which is read a bi book, a bisexual, bi-romantic book. So I'm reading Red, White, and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston. Oh my god, has the entire world hyped this up. I've hyped this book up and like act as if it's my favorite book all time already, and I haven't even read it yet, but like that's how much power this book has. If you haven't read this book yet or don't know what it's about, this is about a slightly alternate universe where a woman wins the election in 2016. Her son Alex has a bit of a rivalry with a prince named Henry across the pond, and after they get into like a fight or something, they're forced to pretend to become friends for publicity, and then they start falling in love. And oh my god, I'm so excited for this book. I've heard almost nothing but wonderful praise about this book, and I just think I'm really gonna love it. It's also so flappy, and oh my god, I'm so excited. Oh, and by the way, Alex, I think, is bisexual, and I don't know what Henry's sexuality is. I think Henry might be gay, but I know that Alex is bisexual, so we love that. The green challenge is to read a TQ plus book, so a book that is trans, queer, ace, non-binary, anything like that. And for this, I've chosen to read Failure to Communicate by, I'm not going to try to say the name because I'm way too scared to mess it up, but this person is a very wonderful person on Twitter. You should follow them. I don't know a whole lot about this book except that I know it as bi-rep and polyamorous rep. It also has an autistic main character, which is own voices.
Hi, it's Editing Tate, still in the same outfit. Now that I've not been filming, I remember a bit more about what this book is about. I know that it is sci-fi and that eugenics has been used more in this world. I don't know if it's future or just kind of an alternate universe, but people have been either aborting babies that have neurodivergence, such as autism, or they are using eugenics to change genes in the baby so they will not have those things. So our main character is one of the only autistic people left in the universe. So yeah.
Becca, whose Twitter and blog I will put down below, will not stay quiet about this book. I've been wanting to read this book for a long time because of them. So I'm really, really eager to read this because I don't think I've ever read a book with an own voices, autistic, queer main character, and I also haven't read any like canon polyamory before, so I'm really, really excited. Then we have the blue challenge, was just read any queer book, and for this I am reading the final book in the Ice Massacre trilogy, Ice Kingdom by Tiana Warner. Obviously I can't tell what this is about, but like, oh my god, I'm still so excited. Then the final challenge for the Read Your Gaze readathon is to read the group book, which is I Wish You All the Best by Mason Deaver. This is like, in my head, this is like the sibling to Red, White, and Royal Blue because they came out on the same day. Their authors are both wonderful and like friends. And oh, I'm just really also excited to read this book. It's taken physical effort not to read some of these books before June. But basically, this is about a non-binary person named Ben who comes out to their parents and then I think gets kicked out and has to move in with their sister or something. And then it's like a love story between them and a boy named Nathan. I think that's Nathan and that's Ben. I am so excited. I have read basically no non-binary before, especially on voices, and so I'm really, really eager to get to see that representation through own voices eyes and just to see it in general. Oh, I'm so excited. Then the next readathon that I have happening is the witchathon. It goes from the 14th to the 21st. This has 6 book challenges plus 1 non-book challenge, which is just take a picture reading a book by a pool, which I'll try to do if I ever get outside of my house. So the first challenge was just to read a book that I think is just gonna be a feel-good read, and for this one I chose Carry On by Rainbow Rowell. Fun fact, this got sent to me by the love of my life, Allie from Nature of Pages, and I'm so excited. And it's also the paperback version, which I low-key like better because it looks more fantasy-esque and you get to see the boys Simon and Baz, and I'm already so excited for this book. If you know what it's about, it's kind of like, it's almost like a spoof of Harry Potter, but gayer. I don't know if that's accurate, but I'm just really excited to read it. Also, I'm noticing that so many of the books I want to read are thick, so wish me luck, everybody. Also, please validate that I have a little bee pin because like lesbian, and I'm wearing. You see, I'm trying to look gay and cute for you guys today. Be nice to me. The second challenge is to read a book that has a lot to do with trees, whether on the cover or in the, what am I thinking of? The plot. That's the word. And for this, I'm going to do The Burning Maze by Rick Riordan. This is the third book in the Trials of Apollo series. This series, or like this specific one, has a lot to do with trees, I think. I just remember that like the end of the second book had a lot of trees involved in it, and then like the forest. There's just trees involved, okay? I don't want to spoil things for you, but yes, this is, haven't read, I think I got this at like Christmas time, and I still haven't read it, so I want to get back into this because I love my Rick Riordan. I love boy, and I miss all my dumb babies. The next challenge is to read a book with yellow on the cover. I could just read my shirt. But for this, I'm going to do Opposite of Always by Justin A. Reynolds. Clearly there's a lot of yellow. I match it right now. I'm very cute. This book, from what I know, is about this boy named Jack who falls in love with a girl named Kate, and then she dies, and he ends up having to go back in time over and over again, kind of Groundhog Day style, trying to save her. I've heard mostly pretty good things about this. It's a really intriguing concept to me, and I'm really excited to see it. It's also really excited for the representation because clearly it is two black teens falling in love, written by a black author. And I don't know, I'm just really excited. Also, Kate is a look, like an entire look. The next challenge is to read a book that focuses a lot on good versus evil, whether that's like how, like a very polarized version of that, or the kind of the grayness. And for this, I decided to read Ace of Shades by Amanda Foody. I don't know a whole lot about this, honestly. I just know that it has queer rep, apparently has bi character, and possibly I think gender queer rep somewhere in there. And that it is kind of supposed to have some moral grayness in it, so I figured that would work. And I'm really excited to read it because it's been on my list for a while. The next challenge is to read a book that takes place during summer, and for this I'm reading When Dimple Met Rishi by Sandhya Menon. It doesn't have the dust jacket. This book, from what I know, is about a teen named Dimple whose parents send them to a summer camp for something with STEM. I think it's like coding or something like that. And while they're there, they meet this boy named Rishi, and then romance ensues. I believe Dimple is Indian, Indian American. So yeah, I don't know what else to say about it. I don't know a whole lot about it. I've heard kind of mixed reviews, but I also still really want to try it out. And it also takes place during summer because it's a summer camp, so that's very helpful for me. Woo! The last challenge is to read the group book, which is Summer of Salt by Katrina Leno. I think I said that right. This book I honestly know nothing about, except apparently it's takes place during summer. I think it has magical realism. Apparently it also has queer representation. And Rhiannon said we were going to read it, so I'm going to read it. I trust Rhiannon. Another thing about this readathon is Rhiannon said that we could get, extra points, quote unquote, if we use queries, because obviously it is June. It's very gay. So almost all the books I picked are queer. The only ones that I think are not queer is I don't think that When Dimple Met Rishi has queer rep, and I don't know if Opposite of Always has queer rep, but every other book on this list has some sort of queer rep as far as I know, so love that. And then the last readathon that I'm talking about for my June TBR is the Biblio games, which I already said I'm part of Team Sidekick. These books I'm not reading on a specific day, I'm just tossing them in whenever I find time, but they do have, I think, 6 challenges, so I will just go through all of those with you. The first is the group book for the Sidekick team, which is Not Your Sidekick by C.B. Lee. I'm really hoping that this is in fact the right book. I think it is. No one has confirmed for me if this is actually the right one, the C.B. Lee one, but it's what I'm going to read, so we're going to pray. I don't know anything about this at all. I genuinely don't, except I assume it maybe has something to do with superheroes. That's all I've got for you. The next challenge is to read a book in a format that you don't normally read. And for this one, I think what I'm going to read is Obsidio by Jay Kristoff and Amy Kaufman. This, if you don't know, is the final book in the Illuminae trilogy. It's very multimedia. This is Illuminae I have in my book, but it has lots of multimedia, which I don't normally read because it doesn't normally exist. I'm having to get it from my library, so if I can't get a hold of it, then I will figure something else out, and you'll figure that out as we go along. The next challenge is just to read a book with a satisfying ending, so I'm just gonna be also counting Ice Kingdom by Tiana Warner for this, because I've read it before and I know that it has a satisfying ending, and I didn't know how else to figure out if a book had a satisfying ending before I read it. The next challenge is to read a book with a funny side character, and for this I'm also kind of doubling up that I'm counting The Burning Maze by Rick Riordan, because I know this series, I know that there are lots of funny side characters in this, so bam. Next challenge is to read a graphic novel, and so for this I'm going to be reading Nimona by Noelle Stevenson. Basically what I think this is about this person, Nimona, who becomes the sidekick for a villain, I think? I honestly don't know a lot about it, but I've heard some nice reviews of it, and I'm just really intrigued, so I'm just going to try it out. Then the last challenge for this readathon is to read a nonfiction book, and for this, what I'm going to try to read is Modern Her Story by Blair Amani. This is a nonfiction, obviously, that's supposed to be about 23 women, I think, who've changed the world. Apparently, it's mostly queer women and women of color, so I was really excited about that because I wanted to be reading a queer nonfiction book for this. I'm really intrigued to read that and just kind of see some more women in history, because we often don't see that. But if I can't get a hold of that, because I do also have to get it from my library, and something's wrong with my card apparently, I'm going to read Sister Outsider by Audre Lorde. This is a collection of essays and speeches and things like that by Audre Lorde, and it's supposed to talk a lot about feminism and stuff like that, so I'm also intrigued in that. That could also be one that I could use for the format I don't normally read if I can't get a hold of Obsidio, because I don't normally read essays and things like that. I have one more book to talk to you about. This isn't associated necessarily with any of the readathons. It's just a book that I want to try to get to this month, and that is Autobiography by Christina Lauren. From what I know, this book is about a bisexual high school senior, I don't remember their name, but their family moved to Utah and they live in a Mormon LDS family, and so they have been in the closet because of their family's views on queer people and the community. So they have been in the closet, but then they start getting feelings for this boy who teaches like a writing seminar for them or something like that. There's also in the writing seminar, I don't know how it works. They get feelings for a boy. And they are also a boy, so it's like, oh no, gay. I've been hearing lots of good things about this mostly. Most recently, I heard from Jocelyn Reeds in her contemporary recommendations video to read this book. And so I've really been wanting to read it. First of all, it just sounds interesting, and I love queer books, and it's June, so I want to read queer books. But I also thought that this might be a good one for me to try to read, because I'm obviously queer and I also grew up in an LDS Mormon family. I didn't grow up in Utah, but that is where I go for college, and I do have a lot of my family in Utah. So I thought that this might be a very interesting and kind of close to my heart book to read. I am glad that I didn't try to read this when it first came out and people were talking about it, because I think this came out like a year ago or something, and not sure it would have been the best idea for me to read this earlier, because life was happening, stuff wasn't as good then, but now I'm in a much better place. Basically, I think that I would not have had as enjoyable a time back then, just because there probably would have been more triggers and stuff in it for me, but I think now I'm in a good place to read it, and I'm really eager to read it and maybe do a review about it, to just kind of do kind of an own voices discussion on what it's like to be queer, specifically bi. I'm not bisexual, but I am biromantic, living in an LDS family and living in a community that is mostly not approving of that. Yeah, good job, Tate. You didn't get emotional. Okay, so that is all the books I'm trying to read this month. I'm gonna count how many it is, because oh, how am I gonna do this? I'm such an idiot. So theoretically, my TBR for this month is 19 books. Lord help me, is all I can say. Because this month in May, I've read a lot of books, and I'm on book number like 18 or 19, and I also had no work all month. But I'm trying to read the same number of books while also working, possibly 2 jobs. You know, a dumbass will do what a dumbass will do. But I am really, really excited for this month. If I can't finish all these books, that's okay. I just want to get to as many as I can, read a lot of queer stories, read a lot of good stories, and maybe if I don't read some of them, I can bump them over to July and just, you know, make another Pride Month. Pride Month Part 2. My birthday's in July, so it can just be another gay month for me. Every month is gay when you're me. If you're participating in any of these readathons, which I'm sure a lot of you are because I'm participating in everything, please let me know if you have like a TBR that you want me to watch, if you're excited, if you are reading any the same books as me and we could do a buddy read or something like that. I love buddy reads. If you're also on Team Sidekick, hit me up. Also, please wish me lots of luck because this is gonna be a month trying to read and upload and also live my life. You'll probably see several more videos in the next few days because I have so many things that I need to get out at certain times that it's probably gonna be a lot. You'll probably see my Wilder Girls review in just a couple of days, which I'm really excited for you guys to see, but it's long as fuck. Talk to me in the comments, DM me on Twitter, like this video if you liked it, subscribe, turn on the bell thing, ring-a-ling-ding that bell. God, I hate myself, and that's it. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye-bye. Also stay queer.